herself, Miss Morgan Charlie. We'll be happy to have her back. We've missed a few shows here recently, so I will be glad to have her back on the show with us tomorrow. Lots of stuff going on, especially around the state capitol. We do have a deadline day tomorrow, the 3rd. It is the deadline for all bills to come out of the opposite side from where they were dropped. I know it gets a little confusing with all these different deadline days and what they mean, but there are some that are kind of hanging in limbo there that hopefully we will be able to make it through, at least to live another day. But of course, as always, I will keep you updated on all of those. Now, there seems to be a crisis here in the state, and I have been hearing about it, and I'm starting to see it really happen in live time. And, until I really sat down and read an article that Kingfish did, Kingfish of Jackson Jambalaya, he's going to be calling in here in a few minutes. Until I sat down and really read and heard Clay talk about it a little, and then Sean and I spoke about it, about what this means, not only for package stores, liquor stores throughout the state, but so many more that this issue actually affects when you look at restaurants and bars and casinos and places that bring in money, not only for the state of Mississippi, but for all of those employees. That's how they feed their families, and that's the paycheck they depend on in order to pay their bills. And because of what really it seems like to me, negligence on the part of Mississippi's distributor, a lot of these places are in jeopardy of closing down or having to lay off employees and staff members who depend on this income. As much as some people may not approve, this does weigh heavily on so many people within the state. And I don't know the answers to fix this or the workaround and how to make this problem, ease this problem or help this problem go away. But I feel like it's really something that we need to look at in the future and make sure that this is not an issue or something that we see happening in the future. I believe this will be Kingfish. Let's see here. Hey there, you're on the air.
Hey, how we doing, ma'am?
Hey, so this is Kingfish from Jackson Jambalaya. And Kingfish, I was just telling the listeners that I didn't realize how big of a problem this actually was until I read your I really didn't until I read your article. And then I started to realize, oh, there didn't seem to be an end in sight. This could be really bad for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a major problem. It's crippling restaurants and liquor stores alike. Even the casinos are suffering from it.
And their staff, it says they all have staff employees that they employ that depend on their paycheck to provide for their family and to pay their bills. And when you're not making those sales at these big establishments, then what do? You have to eventually start cutting staff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or close
down. And I have read that there are some liquor stores that have closed or either very much on the verge of doing so. Kingfish, tell us how this...
I've heard there are some that are like at 25% inventory, and that's it.
Tell us how this... Okay, so... And also, I read the post that was made by Flowwood Wine or one of the stores over in Flowwood.
Spillway.
Okay. I read that post, and so we aren't wanting to go to another model because that would mean higher prices.
Yes and no. It would depend on the model you use, but...
Okay, start at the beginning. How do we get here?
If you went to direct shipping, for example, where from the distributor straight to the customer, the liquor store, restaurant, etc., their prices probably would not change.
And that's what we've been trying to get through the legislature for years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it the hold up the Senate?
I would say just in general. I mean, I would just say in general. I mean, what happened here was ABC's building a brand new warehouse. One they have now is old, it's antiquated, doesn't have the space they need, so they're building a new one. It's on schedule. Will be opening a little bit less than a year from now. So they had two problems. Well, one, the software they have is obsolete. They got it back in '03. They can no longer get updates for it, which means you're not getting security patches or things you need. And a year is a long time to go without that. So
No, but Kingfish, back up one second. So ABC, is that the only supplier for Mississippi stores because of the model that's set up here?
Yeah, and other states use it too, but yeah, that's what we use here, which is, you know, you have I call them the customers, the casinos and restaurants and liquor stores, but they have to get their product from the ABC, okay? And the ABC, of course, gets them from all the, distributors, et cetera.
And it's illegal for them to go across state lines and buy from somewhere else or another distributor.
Yeah, and retail it, yeah, but you and I both know there are probably some doing it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But so what happens is they normally shut down for a week early January every year for inventory, which a lot of businesses do.
Right.
And so they said, we're going to be shut down for a week. So what we're going to do is sit there and replace our software, which they did with no beta testing, no nothing. They just, we use this in our other states, so this will work here. Well, they installed it, and unfortunately, they found out because they didn't test it, it didn't communicate with the ABC's software. Because the software they installed was a warehouse management software system. Okay.
So who is this?
They didn't communicate. So that created all kinds of haywire havoc with the orders. Then at the same time, they've been using a conveyor belt system for years, but it's old, it's worn out. They can't get parts anymore for it. So they went to what's called a pick the pallet system, where they, instead of sorting them out by conveyor belt, they put them on pallets, shrink wrap them, put them on the truck, and the driver has to sort things out for the customer. Yeah.
But this wasn't ABC that shut down for inventory. Who was it that shut down for inventory that decided then to change their system?
Okay. I'm sorry. I left one thing out. ABC back in 23 or 22, they hired a private contractor to manage the warehouse for them. They privatized the management. So it's a company called Ruin. I think they're out of Iowa. But so they're the ones who actually decided to change the software. But my understanding is ABC approved them doing it too. So
without making sure everything would connect and work together.
There you go. And so what happens is you have orders that are haywire. You have trucks. I mean, it pushed the deliveries back. Used to be you place your order, you get your product within 48 hours. Now it's running at a month, which totally blindsided all the store owners and restaurants. It totally blindsided them.
But I mean, I've talked to some of them who haven't even received, maybe one order since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you placed your order, say mid-January, I mean, you were just now a week or two ago getting your order probably. Okay. I mean, if you placed it at the end of January, you're probably just now getting it. And I've heard of that over and over and over.
And it may not even be the right order, and it may not be all of the order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's another. Well, I haven't heard so much about mistaken orders, so much as partial orders, or you get it. You order 100 cases and you get 20 cases in. Okay, and by the way, they billed you for 100 cases, so now you're waiting on your refund, and there's been problems there too. Some of them have said so. It's just created one big mess, and so you're seeing like Anne Marie Smith, she owns Rain Cellars over there around the corner from you guys in Florida.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And she was talking about the House 2 weeks ago, House subcommittee that had a hearing on it, about how there were restaurants on Valentine's Day did not have wine to sell, did not have product to sell, which if you're in the restaurant business, Valentine's Day is your biggest day of the year.
Yeah, that's a hard hit because your customers are going to go somewhere else.
And liquor, if you're in the restaurant business, that's where you make your money. That's where you have your high margins. I mean, if you ever noticed, restaurants that don't sell alcohol tend to have higher prices than the ones that do. That's why. That's where you make your money. It's a huge mess. And they had a hearing. It was Hank Zuber. He chairs the House's state State Affairs Committee. He's from the coast, and he had a hearing. And let me tell you something. That they used the big room, and it was packed, standing room only.
And this is what you posted today, this morning?
Yeah, that's what I posted today.
I haven't gotten to watch it.
So it's kind of like 2 weeks late putting it up there. So, but anyway, yeah, I have the complete video of it, so you can watch the hearing if you are bored and want to fall asleep. Just go watch the hearing. But they get into it. Shonda Yates was tearing them up, and Trey Lamar was suggesting we need to go to, at least temporarily, go to direct shipping till y'all figure this out.
I believe Shonda's one of the representatives who's brought that bill every year, who's dropped that bill.
She is, and Trey Lamar's in favor of it too. But what happened was, Chris Graham, he is the commissioner of the Department of Revenue. He's over ABC. So he got up there, gets in the hot seat, and it was like catching spears from everybody. He was just getting beat up one side down the other. He said they were going to have by the end of March, they should have half the backlog gone, and he said the rest of the backlog should be gone by May. Which didn't make anybody feel better. I know what he's saying, but these people are all sitting here screaming for product, and they're being told, hang on. And Shonda and Trey Lamar were both suggesting we need to try direct shipping, and everything they suggested, Graham would come back and say, no, we're working through this. If everybody's just kind of patient, we'll get through this. Now,
how can you be patient when you depend on this for your livelihood, and you've got bill collectors knocking down your door?
That's exactly what they told them.
This is what
puts what they told them.
It puts food in your kids' mouths. And how can you be patient?
You can't.
And I love, that first article you did, Kingfish, that really broke all of this down. You even included the emails. And so they were being told one thing and then not hearing anything. And then it was just very scarce, like the communication with ABC. They weren't being told what was going to happen. So I'm sure they don't trust what they're being told now.
The communication has gotten a little bit better. From what I understand, the communication's gotten a little better since that hearing. Imagine that. But like Anne Marie Smith, she talked about at that hearing because she testified. She talked about while the hearing was going on, and the commissioner was saying, "We've got these problems worked out." And she says, "I just got a text from my employees. I had a 35 case order. I got 5 cases, but I've been billed for 35." Does that sound like it's been fixed?
Right.
No, it doesn't. So it is just wreaking havoc. The question is, should the state be in the alcohol distribution business? Should these guys just be able to ship directly from, suppliers, from distributors, like they do in other states?
They do that in other states, because the way I was looking at the spillway post, he was saying there are other states, that have, I guess, almost like pharmaceutical sales reps, like alcohol sales reps that go in. And usually he said there's like 3 big ones, almost like you have your auto manufacturers, but they go into the states. But with Mississippi being a lot of rural area, he was saying that if we change to a model like that, it would increase prices not only for the stores, but also that would drip down to the customers.
It could.
But there are other states that also have this direct shipment model.
Well, the best idea I heard was the Beau Rivage guy got up there and he said, what you should do is allow the casinos to order directly. He said, we're already regulated by the Gaming Commission, so we're not just flying out there. He said, their orders, as you can imagine, are big. And I'm sure that Beau Rivage's is really big. So you remove those casino orders from the queue, and the restaurants and mom and pop, the package stores would probably get their orders a lot quicker because they wouldn't have the casino orders clogging up the system. And every package store owner I talked to and restaurant owner I talked to said the same thing. They all liked the idea. They were all for it. But of course, the company that has the trucking contract sure doesn't like that idea, of course.
Then they lose money.
For obvious reasons. Because they lose money is right. But then you're looking at, the only problem was, that sounded good, but now try to get the legislature or the governor's office to do something about it. And that's the thing is, you talk to the governor's office people, you talk to the Senate people, the House people, they're all telling you how much they're getting beat up on this. They're getting phone calls every damn day about this.
What can they do at this point?
They could pass some quick legislation allowing them to temporarily direct ship, or casinos direct ship. I think that's probably your best bet. But like I said, you've got, Department of Revenue saying Oh no, I mean, because they're running out their normal pace now. But the problem is, even at their normal pace, and they're pushing it a little bit harder too, it's still going to take them 3 months to clear out their backlog. So, it is what it is. But now in the Senate, they don't have any hearings scheduled. They don't see any. And I've talked to some senators. There's no real appetite over there to really even address the problem or talk about it. So if people are mad right now, they need to call not the representatives because they're on board on this. They know about it. Call their senators.
Kingfish, we got to take a break. Can you stay with us for the next segment?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to break down more of this liquor crisis happening here in the state of Mississippi and what can be done about it. Stay with us. WIB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. Okay.
1039 WYAB.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Doctor, they see doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever, now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, they see doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com. Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
CorcoranDoor.com. CORKERN door.com.
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 1039 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 1039 WYAB each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
The new year is off to a fast start, but you can't keep up if your vehicle is sidelined. Get to Mazda of Jackson and take advantage of these super deals before time runs out. Get 1.9% financing for 63 months on all 2025 Mazda CX-5s and 2026 CX-90s, CX-50s, and Mazda 3s with approved credits, and get 1 year maintenance included in your new vehicle purchase. Don't wait another minute to experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. Online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit I-55 Frontage Road.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And then, of course, always on the 50,000 watt signal, WIB 103.9. You can also find us streaming on the WIB website if you are not near a radio. We are joined today by the one and only Kingfish of Jackson Jambalaya, where we are breaking down the liquor crisis happening in the state of Mississippi. Kingfish has been giving us his thoughts and catching us up on what has been going on at the state level in our legislature and what they are attempting to do to fix this problem. So, Kingfish, have you talked to some stores that have already closed because of this problem?
No. I don't know of any stores that have actually closed. I know of some that are saying we can't make it for 2 or 3 months. We'll have to close. I mean, and if you don't have product to sell, what are you going to do? And it's not just that you don't have product to sell. Suppose you've ordered product, but then they shorted your order. You've been charged for it, paid for it, even though you're not supposed to be. And commissioner says this isn't happening, but I've got too many owners saying that is indeed happening.
Mm-hmm.
So now your cash flow is tied up. See what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So
because you paid for stuff you haven't gotten.
Yeah.
It's
a big problem.
It's a real mess. One thing that came up during the hearings also was repeatedly representatives, legislators were asking them, why can't you do will call? That's where the customers, the restaurants, stores, everybody drive up there and pick up their orders.
I'm sure they'd much rather do that and ensure that they get it.
Of course. And they said the warehouse is so old and small, they don't have the space to do it, or they don't have the shipping doors for it. Especially since most of them we probably driving up with trucks, because you're only getting more than 5 cases, okay, for your order.
Mm-hmm.
So
is there not? I mean, sure.
So hang on. They just don't have the space for it, and so now he said that now the new warehouse is going to have all the space they need. If they wanted to do it at the new warehouse, they could. But like I said, everything they came up with as a potential solution or something to mitigate it, they just kept on saying, no, that wouldn't work. Here's why. If everybody can just hang on, we'll be okay, blah, blah, blah.
It seems like in a crisis like this, there would be some sort of workaround or at least temporary fix. I mean, you find a way to make things work when you have to.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, and frankly, this reminds me of the whole Jackson, the Siemens thing. I mean,
the water.
Or just talk about that, which is they installed the software. One problem that software had when Siemens installed it, they hadn't tested it.
Is that the water or the garbage, Kingfish? Was that the water?
No, hang on. You'll see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So they installed the software at Jackson Water system, and they didn't test it first. Big mistake. Number 2 is they found out it didn't communicate the hard way. They found out it didn't communicate with Jackson's own software. Okay, so the result was every meter is Wi-Fi. So the result was the data wasn't being downloaded. So what happened? You had no bills, crazy bills, and all that mess. It was almost the same kind of thing that happened here, which was, I mean, you would actually have orders on trucks. Here's how bad it got. You'd have orders on trucks. I knew of one store this happened. Truck driver shows up. He's got ordered 100 cases. They're on the pallet in the truck. Delivery truck driver can only let him have 14 cases because that's the only ones he had paperwork for. He's showing him his order. He's pointing out, that's my order right there. He says, I'm sorry, I can't let you have it without the paperwork from the warehouse. And that's how messed up it was getting too, which was drivers were running their shipments, but then weren't having their paperwork they needed. And so then what would happen is they'd have to ride around with undelivered product on their truck, taking up space, of course. until they got the right paperwork. Then they could deliver it, which, just a big mess.
Kevish, we have a question on the text line that they
Sure.
ask, who makes these decisions for these upgrades to their system? Didn't you say that ABC did sign off on this?
Ruin, the contractor, is the one who does them, but, they do everything. They notify ABC of everything they're doing, and my understanding is ABC signs off on them. For example, the conveyor belt system, ABC signed off on that. The software system as well. And like I said, they needed to change the software. I get it. Because like I said, a year is a long time. I mean, you have an iPhone, right? How often does your iPhone get updated, right? Why does it get updated? So it doesn't get hacked, okay? That's one reason. Well, this is no different. If you can't update it for a year, you're with hackers today, like with what happened at UMC. I mean, you're asking a you're hoping for some luck, all right? By the way, did you see Marshall Ramsey's cartoon about UMC and the ABC last week?
Yes, I sent it to Sean. I
That was
laughed
funny.
so hard. I did. I laughed. Now, Marshall has made me really mad about some of his school choice cartoons, but that one, I really
But
like.
that's
That
his
one was
job.
really funny.
But that's his job. He's supposed
Yeah.
to push a little bit. You're a talk show host, so sometimes you're going to push things, and sometimes people are going to love what you say, and other times people love what you say, they're going to get mad as hell at you.
Oh yeah, exactly. But so was it the legislature who voted on Ruins to be the one?
No.
Okay.
That was done through RFP. They bid that out. They had 4 companies bid. 2 of them were from here. One was from Madison. One was from Meridian. But they had the lowest and best bid. The company from Iowa did Ruin. So they won the contract. I mean, and I'm getting the score so we can see how close it was. But now one thing that the Chairman Zuber brought up was in that contract that they signed with the state, they have to get a performance bond, and he's wanting to know is for $4 million. And he's wanting to know why they're not invoking that performance bond to make them compensate some of these small business owners who are suffering right now. I mean,
that's
and
a
another
good
thing
point.
about the contract too is this is really screwy. Is there's no penalty, so now they get paid for what they deliver. So the more you deliver, the more you get paid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you don't deliver, there's no penalty either. See what I mean?
So they aren't. It's not costing them anything to show up
No.
and not be able to
Only if
deliver.
you count lost profits, not actual fines. I mean, they're taking a financial hit because they weren't shipping for a while, I'm sure. But as far as a penalty, no. Mm-mm.
One thing I think I read in the article you wrote was that, yes, they decided to go to this new software, but before they realized it wouldn't communicate with what they already have, they'd already ripped out the conveyor belts. And so there was no way to even backtrack.
They did them both at the same time, yeah.
So it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the person who texted in, they just asked who inside of the ABC makes those decisions.
That I couldn't tell you. I mean, the ABC is like a monolith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
So is there
they're
somebody,
like a
does
black
like
box.
Mississippi have their own people within the ABC that work for Mississippi? Or is it kind of just a big conglomerate?
ABC is a state agency. There's Department of Revenue. Okay, so they're within revenue. So,
but multiple states use them.
They're all state employees. Okay, I mean it's a state agency.
But
It's
multiple
just
states have that same.
They just contracted out the operation of the warehouse to a private management company. That's all they did.
But like ABC in general, there are other states that use that same entity, correct?
There are some, yeah.
But they're all
There's
kind
like
of
17 states that have some form of control by the state. Alabama probably is the only other one in the Southeast that uses it. But yeah, there's other states that do it this way. I mean, in some states, I think Pennsylvania or Utah or some others, I mean, the stores themselves are all owned by the state. I mean, so there's different models around the country. Then, of course, we have Louisiana next door, and we all know what that model is, which is nothing. Anything goes.
Yeah. In Utah, you can only buy liquor at one of the state agency stores.
So I'm just saying there's different models here. I mean, everybody uses. I mean, so.
But they're all state run by each individual state that uses them.
What do you mean they're all state run?
So, I mean, like Alabama uses ABC alcohol
right
as well, but theirs is run by Alabama where ours is run by Mississippi.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's what I was unaware of.
Like I said, it's a big mess.
It definitely sounds like it. We got to take another.
I mean, when you hear Beau Rivage saying they can't get product, you're thinking, now that's the ABC's biggest account, as you can imagine. Okay?
I'm sure. Yeah.
And you're sitting there thinking, okay, those guys can't get their stuff. oh, damn, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, especially if you're one of these little mom and pop places that, doesn't do nearly as much business.
Priority based on size of your order. I mean, they do first in, first out. So, if you get first in the queue to order, I mean, your order is first in the queue. I mean, they're not going to bump, say, Beau Rivage ahead of you just because they're ordering, say, 500 cases and you're ordering 50.
Well, I guess they don't have to because they get paid at the front end.
There you go.
Okay, do you want to hang on for another segment? We got to take another break.
Sure, why not?
Awesome. Okay, y'all stay with us. We'll be right back to discuss more of this alcohol emergency here in the state of Mississippi. We will be right back. Alcohol emergency here in the state of Mississippi. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
CBS News special report. U.S. officials say the military strikes on Iran will not lead to an endless war. President Trump tried to put a time frame on it today at the White House.
This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime.
He says it could be 4 to 5 weeks. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
He said that it was originally projected to last 4 to 5 weeks, but we can go longer. That's what he said. He said, I won't get bored. There are some people who have said that I might get bored and want to move on, but I won't. So that gives you a sense of where the president's mind is at right now.
The Pentagon reports 4 American deaths in the fighting. Iran's counterattacks have focused on Israel and oil targets in the Middle East. CBS News special report. I'm Steve Kathan.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. Why is Rita Jensen the type of real estate professional you are looking for?
As a mortgage professional, I look for making transactions easier, and Rita Jensen with Rematch Connection is a prime example of that. Her attention to detail, her strong communication skills really help us as a mortgage company make everything smooth. From start contract to close, she helps me.
RitaJensen.net.
Are you looking for a church family to connect with? One that will provide opportunities to grow in your spiritual life, as well as a chance to serve others? First Baptist Flora may be just the place for you. We're located at 102 Jackson Street in Flora. To worship with us in person, we have a traditional worship service that begins Sunday mornings at 8:30. Then our life groups meet at 9:45, and the Refuge Contemporary service begins at 11 a.m. We also have a midweek service every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So come join us at First Baptist Flora, where we're making much of Jesus.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We have been breaking down the liquor crisis that's happening here in the state of Mississippi and what that means for not only liquor and package stores, mom and pop businesses, but restaurants around the state, casinos. They've all been suffering and are all looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, which it doesn't seem like they see very much of at this point. We are joined by Jackson Jambalay's very own Kingfish. Kingfish, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Someone said on the text line that this sounds a lot like the people who scheduled the bridge work. I'm not sure which bridge work they're talking about. You probably know.
No, I don't.
I'm not sure which.
Five different things pop in my head when I hear that.
Sorry, Texter. I'm not sure which bridge work you're talking about. But this has obviously become a big problem for many, many places, including restaurants, casinos, stores who sell alcohol. And
Well, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I mean, just think about it in a more general sense, which is you have everything centralized in one thing. Now, some states, I mean, you might have, and Trey Lamar wanted to do this, have multiple warehouses throughout the state. But no, the way we did it, we put all of our eggs in one basket. Then went and hired a contractor. Nothing wrong with hiring a contractor, not at all, because often they can do it better. But you put them all in one basket, so if something goes wrong, boom, everything implodes. And that's what happened is it imploded. Now, what Lamar said was, back when they passed the law, build the fund the new warehouse back in 21, he wanted to just privatize it. He said if we'd had to privatize the whole thing and get out of it, a private company would have built a new warehouse within a year, and we wouldn't even have this discussion. But no, everybody wanted to go this route, so here we are. One big mess.
So is there a way that the state could manage alcohol and liquor sales without it being all through this one agency and to be able to do it in different...
The state, well, first of all, the legislature would have to change the law. I mean, they're running the way it's set up in the law. So you'd have to go pass some legislation to change things. And they can go to any model they want to. I mean, this is just the one they chosen to use. Now they've spent a ton of money on a brand new warehouse. So are they going to just junk that warehouse? Nope. Of course not. I mean, so, that's what ABC keeps saying. This warehouse, it's like twice the size. It's going to be good for 25 years. It's going to give us more than enough space. It's going to have everything brand new, everything, blah, blah, blah. And I've talked to people who've toured it, and they've all said the same thing. Yeah, it's really nice. And that's one reason why some of us, like in the state Senate, they're not really wanting to do anything, because they're like, we can just get through this, get to the new warehouse, we're going to be okay. But to me, the fundamental flaw is you still have everything, all your eggs in one basket. If anything goes wrong in that basket, you don't have any eggs.
So the direct to seller or the direct shipment model, are the liquor stores around here on board with that? Because would that not cost them customers?
A lot of them are, yeah.
They are, even though that would mean that individuals could ship to their home instead of using
I don't know if they're on board with that.
So that would be two different aspects of legislation. The direct to sales to consumer.
I think they're on board with direct shipping for retailers, yeah.
But maybe not consumer.
Yeah, and like I said, there was some support from talked to probably half a dozen owners, and they all were perfectly fine with the casinos being allowed to direct ship themselves. They really thought that would help things a lot.
I mean, that seems like a very reasonable solution here.
Yeah, the problem is you got to change some laws to do it, and getting the legislature to change laws in the middle of a crisis, well, you know how that is.
Is this not maybe an issue a special session could be called for?
Well, we don't get out of session until probably mid-April.
Yeah, but they allow special sessions within session.
True enough, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I mean, like I said, you have people in the House who are raising hell about this, but I haven't seen. I mean, they're all admitting they're getting beat up, but I don't see too many of them stepping forward outside of the House to do anything about it.
What are they afraid of? What is their concern? The pushback they would get if they did do something about it. What do you think that is?
They're politicians.
They think it would hurt them, like in the long run?
Politicians aren't known for moving fast. Okay, they're not known.
Well, yeah, that's very
for
true.
making decisions. Okay.
Yeah, that's incredibly true. We know it doesn't usually takes more than one session to get something done if you really are wanting to change something.
Usually takes two or three actually, but yeah.
Sometimes 10. Look, sometimes
10.
Sometimes you have to
10
sue
is
the
right.
state to get it done, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, which is, it's very rare when you have all of them aligned perfectly, unless it's unless somebody wants to come in and put in a data center or something like that. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, they'll meet in one day and they'll pass everything. Hell, they won't even read it; they'll just pass it through. Okay, But other than that, no.
What
No.
is your opinion on the data centers, by the way? What
I
do you
don't
think?
know enough. I mean, I've heard all the pros. I've heard some of the pros and cons, but I haven't done any research. And like for example, they're bringing in the Amazon one, but the people talk about the power, but that one, I think they're building either one or two power plants to go with it, so that may not even be an issue. Then you hear about the water. I mean, I just don't know enough to actually have an informed opinion on it, so I don't have one. Not a good answer, but it's the best I've got.
No, I would much rather somebody give a truthful answer than blow smoke,
Mm-hmm.
So what are your
I never buy the economic promises whoever's in office of state gives, because they'll say this many jobs and this many jobs will be created. And over the years, I've seen those projections, and it's very rare when you get away from, say, the auto plants that you see that many jobs being created. I've just seen it too many times.
Well, it seems like with the data centers, I mean, goodness, AI can do so much of that. Do you even really need people in those positions? I don't know. I'm
We
like
don't
you.
know.
I haven't done enough
We don't know.
research. What are your readers seem to be? What is their stance on this alcohol situation? What are you
They're all
hearing?
pretty pissed off about it. I mean, nobody's really taking up for the state right now. I mean, nobody. I mean, they're getting beat up all over the place. Like I said, you talk to people in the governor's office, they're getting phone calls all the time. In fact, one of them told me we can't even go to a restaurant or liquor store. If we go into one, they're saying something to us. Like, what's going on here?
I
What are you doing about it? I mean, believe me, they know.
We got a text from a listener named Sean who said he doesn't know something? ?
Yeah, I know, right?
Hard to believe. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know, Kingfish. I feel like you always know it all.
Expert on nothing, knowledgeable about everything.
Well, you're going to have to come to Ole Miss and cover the debate. Have you heard about the debate, the school choice
What
debate?
debate?
Nancy Loom and I are debating school choice on the camp. On
Oh boy!
Ole Miss campus.
Oh boy! We're gonna have to prep you for that one.
I'm prepped. What you talking about? March 10th.
You need to have someone like me sitting opposite of you and sitting there. I mean, playing Nancy Loom and sitting there.
You want to? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Don't mind. I got mixed thoughts on school choice. I really do.
Well, you tell me when, and I will change all your thoughts into pro ones.
No, it's not that so much. I mean, I know all the arguments. I mean, hell, I've got sponsors on my site who publish columns all the time on school choice. I don't know if it would work in rural areas around the state. I just don't know, and I just don't. I mean, I've heard Clay's arguments against it. I know where he's coming from. I've heard the Center for Public Policy, their arguments. I know they're coming from. I just, like I said, haven't made up my mind on it yet. I just haven't.
Well, then you should definitely
I'd like to fix charter schools first. I mean, because they need some help.
They do, but the way the law's written right now, they can only put a charter school in an area where there is a.
Yeah, I know. I'd like here's what I'd like to see on school choice and also charter schools. What I'd like to see is on school choice, if nothing else, I'd like to see school choice allowed for the disabled, and I mean truly disabled. I don't mean some kid whose parents got divorced, he's got emotional problems. I mean
They all have
truly
emotional
disabled.
problems these days.
Right. I mean truly disabled. Okay, because frankly, a lot of school districts don't do right by the disabled. They just don't, or they don't have, say, the therapist or the staff you need to help those kids out.
I
And those
mean,
parents
the
will drive, as you
dyslexic.
know.
I mean, the poor dyslexic children. They just really.
Yeah.
They don't
I
have
mean, but
people that
those
work with
parents
them.
will drive an hour one way just to make sure their kid gets service. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And the other one too is also like to see it's for the gifted and talented, the truly gifted and talented, because if you're truly smart, you shouldn't have to go live in Columbus away from your family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind seeing school choice, or if a school over here has great programs over here for the gifted and talented, and your district or your school doesn't, I think we ought to look at letting those kids do that also, because those are the ones that are going to pull your state forward, and we don't do enough for those kids, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they stay here.
Well, that's just a gamble you have to take.
Yeah. But I mean, if you gave them reasons to stay here,
I mean, we got to educate them, period. I mean, so
Right.
we can't play that game. I mean, they may leave, they may not leave. I mean, you can't base your educational system around that.
But I mean, I'm saying if they have the education options here, you know what I mean?
True. So, is what it is. Anyway, I need to get going.
Yes, we got to go and take our last break. But thank you, Kingfish. I appreciate you calling
No, I
in
enjoyed
today.
it. Thank you
And
very
you let
much.
me know. You can play Nancy. I'll be happy to debate with you.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. All right. We got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here to wrap things up on this beautiful Monday afternoon here at WIB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
1039 WYAB.
Not again. Time to call that big faceless company. Let's see. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for more waiting? Seriously? I'll be retired before this copier gets fixed.
Why wait on hold when you can have local service fast? Advantage Business Systems will fix it today. Real people, real service. None of the runaround. Visit absms.com. That's absms.com. Advantage Business Systems. Stop waiting.
Your pool should be something you enjoy, not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now that's so reliable, you'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
At Sunkissed Tan and Wellness on Highway 49 in Flora, we specialize in providing exclusive tanning services and premium beauty products tailored for women. Our mission at Sunkissed is to enhance your natural beauty, offer expert advice, and create a personalized experience. At Sunkissed Tan and Wellness, step into our oasis and let us illuminate your beauty. Ask about our membership program. Find us on Facebook at Sunkissed Tan and Wellness or online at sunkissedtanandwellness.org.
Since 2012, Brentech Solutions has been keeping Central Mississippi businesses connected and protected. From secure data backup and cloud services with Synology to reliable network design and maintenance, servers, and business Wi-Fi, Brentech truly does it all. Brentech is your Ring Pro partner and smart home automation solutions provider. Brentech can handle Microsoft 365 support and even Starlink. Visit brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. IT solutions that work.
Come together.
Welcome back into the final segment of the Lindsay Beckham Show on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Thank you to Kingfish who joined us today to talk about the liquor crisis that's happening and hopefully solutions that are on the way, because there are so many people who do depend on those sales, regardless of whether they are store owners or restaurant owners or people who work in restaurants, casinos. It affects many, many people across the state and their livelihoods. I mean, this is how they pay their bills. This is how they feed their children, provide for their children. And so there needs to be a solution, and a quick one. I know it's not always that we see the legislature get in a hurry over something, but it seems like this is pressing enough and it's causing harm to enough people that it would be something that they would want to do something about as quickly as possible. Again, there will be a debate March 10th on Ole Miss campus in the Student Union room 323, starting at 5 p.m. Yours truly will be facing off against the one and only Nancy Loom of the Parents Campaign, which, as I have said many, many times, is probably the most anti-parent organization you could possibly imagine. They have fought hard against school choice. They fought hard against the third grade reading gate that we have seen really play into helping our reading scores soar here in the state of Mississippi, contributed to what they like to call the Mississippi Miracle. So it should be very, very interesting. I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. It is Pour It Out Tuesday. We will be joined by the lovely Miss Morgan Charlie from Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi, where we will pour it all out and break down all the things that you want us to talk about. So don't miss it. See you tomorrow.